Not too long ago, there was a situation with Rotten Mango, something that people weren't agreeing with, thinking she was being too insensitive on a certain situation that she was in. And me being the investigator and detective I am, I started going down, investigating, writing down notes, as you can tell, and me and a private guest, or a special guest, my bad, are going to be talking about all this, so make sure you guys listen. Before we start watching these videos, I just want to clarify, I do not watch Rotten Mango. I don't watch her content. I don't anything. I've only heard about her recently because since obviously I'm not qualified to be talking about her, right? Because I'm not her biggest fan. So how am I gonna criticize her? Well, I actually brought her biggest fan of all time. Say hello to Rotten Mango's biggest fan.
I love mangoes.
There you go, boys. So with him here, everything I say, as long as he says, that's true, then you guys can't say I'm hating. I got the number one fan of all time. So, I mean, everything I'm saying is pretty much fact now. What problem is she in right now? None, because she never does anything wrong, right? Because you're her number one fan, yeah, of course. Now, a lot of people are hating on her because of her doing the whole Diddy thing.
What?
Because she's in the Diddy trials while he's in there.
He's in the Diddy trials. He's in the Diddy trials. Is this like a Squid Games?
So he's in court right now with all the victims and stuff. In all seriousness, the victims are there. Yeah, right. Obviously, the victims are all there. He's there. They're like doing this whole trial to see if he's guilty, innocent, and obviously right now we know he kind of got away with a lot of stuff that he never should have gotten away with. That wasn't the big issue. No, that's not the big issue. The big issue was that Rotten Mango was there. Stephanie Sue, that's her name. I'm just gonna call her Rotten Mango because I don't know her like that, so I'm not gonna call her by her name. But essentially, the whole issue with her is that people are saying she's not qualified to be in there. Why is she in there? I don't know. It's like she's just a YouTuber, right? And yada yada. But the biggest issues are, as you can see in my official file worth of hours of research I have here. We can't go through all of this right now because there's too much information. So I just have this basic stuff right here. And essentially, my speaker's about to fall off, but that's fine. Essentially, I forgot to bring up my headphones. The moment she went into the Diddy trials, she decided, why don't I film some TikToks? And that's what I have here, 3 TikToks.
I just spent 8 hours in a room with Diddy, this day 2 of jury selection for Diddy's trial. And it was, okay, listen, there's no video cameras allowed, there's nothing. It's not being live streamed, and there's only 3 rows of press.
Okay, I don't know if you guys expect me to watch all of this, but this is basically it. She just walks right outside and decides, I'm gonna start talking about it right now.
It's like, koalas when they get fuzzy, like if it's really humid and they have like very fuzzy grayish white hair, he kind of is reminiscent to that. But let me tell you, the way
she comparing Diddy to a koala?
Oh, because they're both slow.
Is the most intense thing ever. I feel like he's challenging people to break eye contact first. I almost peed myself. Maybe another TikTok, maybe in a YouTube video. Follow Rotten Mango on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube.
Of course, as soon as you're done talking about the Diddy trials, you gotta start plugging everything. Okay, here's the thing, and I'll get to this eventually. We're gonna start off hating, right? Because when you see this at face value, it's like you can't help but hate on her because it's like, well, what is she doing? This one, she's just doing like an update status, whatever. It's not nearly as bad as. Actually, we'll say that one for last because I don't know what this is. As you can tell from what I wrote, I don't know what this is. This could be a whole other TikTok for all I know, bro.
Most top 3 awkward moments during the entire day.
Top 3 awkward moments. What's more awkward? Being in a room with Diddy or like, bro, top 3 awkward moments.
Another guy was excused because he admitted that he was smoking last night, and it would be very difficult for him to stop smoking throughout the entirety of the trial.
Mr. Judge, I can't. I'm stoned as fuck right now. I don't know if she deleted the TikTok, but there's a TikTok where she was talking about how Diddy turned in her general direction. Like, it seemed like he said, I know you to her. She's just updating us. Nothing wrong with this, Just kind of couldn't wait to get home. But, it's whatever. Also, why is this tab in Spanish? Now, this is the one that had people geeked. I was going to say something, but I don't remember. Hold on, but you have to hear the audio, unless it's going to be copyrighted. Editor, this might get me copyrighted. But Okay, she does her little twirl, and then there was a cut in between. I can only guess she fell over or some shit, and she had to redo it. I don't know why else you would do a cut there, but just a girl eating her mushy PB&J outside the federal courthouse after spending 8 hours in the same room as Diddy, taking 79 pages of notes because cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom. And I know you need to know what's happening. I do need to know. Basically, people were hitting on her because her first reaction is, I just finished this long 8-hour thingy. I don't know if she's on lunch right now. I'm assuming they're done. I don't know. But like, instead of just like going home or anything, she just decides, I need to set the camera right here and record myself doing this. I don't think that's the first thing I do walking out of the courthouse. I'm not gonna hate too much on her because it's like, have you guys seen like the news and newspapers? They clickbait 20 times more than her. Okay, so since all this is happening, everybody's like, wait, why is she in there in the first place? Which brings me to my next point. Is she a journalist? I have a lot of people saying, yeah, she's a journalist. I did some research, as you can tell on this Google Doc I have here. Is she a journalist? I have no idea. No, she is not a journalist.
What? Hold your horses.
And
Hold
this
your...
is all fact checked in a single Google search by the AI, which, as we all know, you can't argue with AI, boys. She doesn't have a degree. You can tell because this guy on Reddit said so. So obviously it's true. You need to have a combination of education, I have that. Practical experience, I have that by Google Doc. And essential skills. If her whole thing is telling the truth and saying how it is, then at least we're getting another angle about what's going on there. And as much as, like, yeah, she might not be qualified, and yeah, what she's doing outside of the courthouse probably isn't the best thing to be doing, it's an extra viewpoint, and I think that's important to have. So for some reason I didn't record an outro, so this is the end of the video, and that's pretty much it.
Baby, you know that I miss